said. Whatever is not of faith is sin. People message me all the time. They still want to live by the knowledge of good and evil. Like they'll message me and they want to ask me if it's okay to go trick-or-treating or not. And they want me to tell them, right? Good or evil, right? But whatever is of faith, or anything not of faith is of sin, it'd be the same thing with the meat. Whether you go trick-or-treating or not doesn't mean anything. It's what's in your heart as you're going about it, right? Yeah. So is your conscience cleansed, right? Do you realize that this doesn't add to your stature or take away from your stature? Or you walk around with a guilty conscience? Yeah. Because you're already suffering at the hands of the trick-or-treating if you're walking around with a guilty conscience. Exactly. Because now your soul is being subverted by what you're doing, right? So people want a good and evil. That's not what it is. Right? It's what's going on in your heart. What foundation are you doing this from? Are you free in your heart? Do you see that this doesn't make you righteous or unrighteous? Do you see that your works can't clothe you? Or are you busy trying to live by your works? And the very question of is it good or evil says that you're trying to live by your works. Right. So for me to tell somebody, oh, you can go trick-or-treating if you want, and then they go and do it, and it's a violation of their own conscience, then they did it from the foundation of sin. Right? Like the tree. When we say sin, we're talking about the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Right? That's like a seed also. Yeah. But what's interesting about all that, Beulah, and you can go back and study this out, and I said this a long time ago, and I know everybody likes to teach it from the other way around, but Paul said something interesting in Galatians 4. He says that faith which worketh by love. And Beulah, in your teaching there, you talked about how things are born of faith. Right. And for so long we read that verse in Galatians as if it was talking about love producing faith. And I don't say that love doesn't cause us to believe on God, but that verse is not talking about that. That verse actually says that faith brings forth love. The faith produces love. Yeah. And that's why as it keeps going on, it gets into chapter 5 and it talks about walking in the Spirit. And then what does it say is the fruit of walking in the Spirit? Love. So what gave birth to love? The Spirit. The Spirit is the spirit of faith. Right. Faith which brings forth love. Right? Faith produces love. The faith will immerse you in the love of God. The faith will give birth to the fruit of the Spirit in you. Right? The faith. Yep. And so that's why I was excited about that.